adopter of this pick. He was spamming it in solo queue. He really does like playing a lot of these champs. So even though we associate it so heavily with Hambach, it's not going to be a champion that he's unfamiliar with. And the Ornn there, kind of as I expected, I feel like it's a pretty obvious Ornn pick when you have
leveling up against those top-of-the-table teams. But Sentinels, just like I was talking about when we saw the players walking onto the stage, you can never really count these guys out. Nice dredge line there into the deadly flourish right after Rahel and Huhi finding a quick combo there with a cryogen. The heal has already been used. Cryogen does have the flash, however. Hambach goes in. Safeguard right on top of the enemy support. Finds the kill there. Deadly flourish puts the dredge line yet again. Sentinels wants another one. They'll end up trading a 2-for-1, but it's big plays coming out.
Everyone kind of knows this is up.
Okay. Darkwing's rotating over, though. He will be the first of the mid laners to make his way into this scrap, as we are going to have 4 collapsing here from FlyQuest. Hambach in a lot of danger. Safeguards back over to Huhi, but now a beautiful mystic shot comes in from Masu, and he'll pick up the kill. Huhi with a flash over the wall.
Push in for a lot of these champions, especially in a melee versus melee matchup.
Ooh, Huhi going in with a flash. Dredge line looks for the play here, and sure enough, they're going to find it. Cryogen does not have the flash ready to go. His heal was back off cooldown, but there's also got buffed in terms of both the damage that the tick does to the turrets, as well as how durable the little grubbies are.
Yeah, and also Griffin going Protoplasm Harness first. Still fairly common if you're not expecting to scrap a huge amount or scale with the Heartsteel, but it's a really fast one-item spike. So he's looking to find combat
TF's items, and he's on Swifty Boots and a Catalyst. I mean, so he's just not going to do any damage.
Impact is just not going to die this game, is kind of the look of it right now. Nice kick.
Nicely done. Quad getting away. Has to try to get further back into the jungle, but no, sir, not going to happen. The resonating strike secures it up to number 2.
Use that tempo created from the top lane gank. Just run straight back down river and then makes a play when Quad re-arrives in lane. So really nicely done there with Hambach's Lee Sin early on in this game.
I love when Lee Sin is back in the meta. I feel like it's a character that allows players to really have so much skill expression in both their mechanics and their decision-making.
Completely agree. It is very exciting. Huhi on the wraparound.
Yep, he's decided to go forward. Open with the depth charge into the dredge line, plus that deadly flourish combo. Huhi is going to lose about half of his own HP here, and Rahel won't get the opportunity to open up the curtain call. Masu's still healthy enough. Cryogen could block every bullet. Griffin does show up down here, though. So if Sentinels stick around a little bit too long, they may end up getting punished. And sure enough, as soon as Huhi takes the recall, Griffin swoops in with the Ishtal's impact. Rahel isn't going anywhere. He tries to get a kill in exchange. And FlyQuest wants to give the kill over to Masu.
Now both the Bard and the Caitlyn, and now you've taken away this Garner. So if they want, they can just maintain those.
Nicely done there from Huhi with the dredge line onto Masu. Counterattack arrives from FlyQuest, but now Hambach's getting locked up here in the front line. Masu's still very low, staying alive as the curtain call opens up. The bullets aren't hitting the target. Beautiful Dragon's Rage to set up the 4th shot. Hambach making it look easy there as Griffin at least gets one back. Huhi falls. Rahel still trying to find the damage here for the big 4th shot. Deadly flourish out of the Rune Prison. Resonating strike over the wall. Griffin very low with the Protoplasm Harness, healing him right back
to pick up that kill. And you're seeing, to me, Sentinels does just have a lot more damage. FlyQuest kind of can burst one person and they're just surviving.
Mid lane. Looks like they want to scrap with FlyQuest.
All right. Keep your eyes on Hambach as the dredge line from Huhi hits Masu, forces the Essence Shift away. Deadly Flourish not going to find a target, but the Realm Warp about to arrive. Nobody's going to take the portal. A little bit too dangerous on that one. Teleports about to come through as the Herald is already secured by Griffin. Gakko's making his way into the fight. Keep your eyes on the equalizers. The Ornhorn goes through first. Griffin's going to get locked up, but that's a tanky Skarner. Huhi, very low on HP. Darkwing's also barely getting away. Sentinels, they leave, but they get the worst of the trade.
And they are going to see if they can pull off a dive on bot side here, but FlyQuest feels like they're aware.
Nobody else is around Quad right now, so there shouldn't really be a whole lot of ways out here for this Twisted Fate. Meanwhile, FlyQuest will get something back, summoning up the Herald in mid lane, taking out the tier 1 turret there, as now Huhi finds a dredge line onto Griffin, but he's got to be careful. The rest of FlyQuest is right behind that Skarner. Huhi continues walking away. Hambach now with a safeguard, back towards his own support, but it's Darkwings who's got to be careful. He has to walk out the whole distance of the equalizer. Hambach also eating a ton of damage here from the Flame Spitter, but nobody else on FlyQuest could do the rest of the damage. So even though Gakkos gets 2 targets, very, very low, it's not low enough, but it is enough to earn FlyQuest control over the Dragon Pit to stop the Sentinel stack.
I think it's a pretty interesting trade, not necessarily a clear win one way or the other, because stopping Soul Point is very important to FlyQuest, even if it costs them pretty much all their ultimates at TF and a lot of plates on that top turret. So FlyQuest delaying the Soul, and Sentinels is getting a lot of gold for this trade.
Yeah, they are getting some gold, and Sentinels going to be happy that they got the kill, but I do think it was critical for FlyQuest to stop that soul stack here. If you're giving over Cloud Soul, that is so ridiculously powerful. And the timing, even in a 4v5, they knew some tools had been spent to kill off their TF, so they really hard forced. They got in there to stop the base from Darkwings, and they know Darkwings is not playing TP. Yes, he has a Realm Warp, but ever since that Phase Rush nerf, it has been pretty much all Ghost Rise, and we're able to stop that.
Now Griffin under pressure in his own jungle again. Protoplasm, Skarner, he tanks a lot, but he still feels enough pressure to need to flash over the wall to make sure he doesn't lose anymore.
A little surprised he flashed instead of trying to walk it off, but Jin was in range to apply some additional CC, and now it's Cryo.
Yeah, this is more of a problem, as now they're also going to commit the depth charge here onto the Karma. Ornhorn flies over the wall, but Cryogen with a flash away clears enough space to keep himself safe. Meanwhile, Sentinels bringing in even more backup, dropping wards in the FlyQuest jungle, stealing away camps.
And a lot of cross-map happening right now. Both flashes burned from support jungle, but while FlyQuest was taking the Dragon,
still so far away.
I'm going to be honest, I'm really struggling to see who FlyQuest is even going to go for.
They're going after Huhi right now, it appears, as Impact flashes over the wall, keeping himself alive as well. Huhi pretty low on HP. Spider-Man's back away. Impale committed only onto Impact as Huhi flashes over the wall, staying alive. Impact, it's hard to kill him, but he will eventually die. Darkwing's positions with the Realm Warp behind him. Deadly Flourish finds its mark on the quad. The Twisted Fate going to be your target here at the very beginning from Sentinels. FlyQuest regrouping. Baron still at about 2/3 HP. Griffin staying on it as the fourth shot flies out. Cryogen, the only one taking any meaningful damage. Sentinel still trying to step up. Griffin gonna eat a fourth shot there coming out from Rahel, as he's also got to be careful. Nice Deadly Flourish from Rahel, locking up the Skarner so he can't chase any further. Quad's got to be a little bit careful here. Darkwing's getting caught, getting burned down. The Rise takes one with them. Sentinels are piling in, but Griffin isn't dead here yet. Humbug goes for the kick. They finally kill the Skarner, but now a TP's about to arrive. Impact has made it back in. He sends himself to his own doom as Impact finds the knock-up onto Quad. Needs a little bit more damage with the Bellows Breath. Cannot do it. It's a melee up here in the topside river as Impact does not want to stop the Deadly Flourish to follow up. Masu gets absolutely clapped. And in imminent danger, Hambach just going to jump over the wall, immediately start up the objective though. Destiny used to reveal that, so FlyQuest knows they got to step up now. Quad going to go ahead, port in over the wall. Has the gold card just about long. We're going to use it right now as Griffin trying to reposition himself. Ornhorn flies to the fight already. A nice pick. Rahel is shut down. Griffin gets exactly what he needed, and FlyQuest may have found their fight. Hambach completely out of energy, has to retreat. Gatgos is low, but he is not dead. Rahel getting picked there. The battle lines failing and the Jin dying opens up the door for FlyQuest. Would need to be a hero moment to try to steal this Baron away. Most likely a one-way trip if he commits. Darkwings, though, nearly dead himself. Forced to use the Zonia, staying alive for now, and he cannot trade Quad. So that's another kill back up to FlyQuest as they take
in on him. Griffin gets in with the Impale. They collapse from multiple sides. There's nowhere really for Rahel to run.
And they just don't stop either. They're still trying to pull Sentinels into this Baron with Darkwing still dead.
Impact's on the other side of the map. He does have his teleport, but I don't know if they're really planning on doing a whole lot with this. Quad arriving here for that gold card onto Hambach. Shift over the wall from Masu. They want to try to finish the kill. The equalizer slows him down for the True Shot Barrage. A kill on Hambach plus a Baron means a 5,000 gold.
He might have been able to create some space for Hambach, walk in, get some vision for him to try to look for a steal. But FlyQuest punished heavily there. They
call that range to take everything they can off of the map. Tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane will fall as FlyQuest pressure two different lanes.
And FlyQuest has really clutched up in the last 4 minutes. This game was incredibly even, maybe even behind for them. But now Masu has this Ezreal power, and they're playing the Karma Ezreal as long as he doesn't get picked. It's all eyes on Masu.
And you can see Impact stepping up to try to psych him out there a little bit, but Masu just completely steadfast in his positioning as Quad going to put the pressure on the mid lane tier 3. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, alongside these two Baron-empowered cannon minions, have the bottom lane turret down to its final plate. Next wave about to crash into the turret now. FlyQuest playing it slow and safe. Don't want to overcommit and allow Sentinels and engage underneath a turret that's barely hanging on. Bottom lane inhibitor now exposed. Quad again, going to have the wave shoved up in mid. That one's not going to drop quite yet. FlyQuest continue to push bottom side. Impact stepping up. Not a whole lot to be gained from a Deadly Flourish there to Griffin. Counter Impale comes out as the Protoplasm Harness heals him up yet again. Flashback over the wall from Impact. Griffin stays alive. between last week and this week, the LCS playoffs are showing the value of Protoplasm Harness. Hambach goes in for the big kick, tries to find it, but there's no backup. Everybody on FlyQuest is still alive. Darkwings has to pop the stasis just to not get hit by the Eastall's impact. Impact will at least get something back himself. He gets the shutdown of the Gakkos, but Cryogen's ready to go forward. True Shot Barrage won't hit Rahel. Is it even gonna matter? No, FlyQuest with their game-winning push. Yet again, they don't back down. It's a full send in the bottom lane from FlyQuest. They counter the Sentinels' attempt. They want to find the last kill here in the fountain, and Fly take game one.
Griffin is popping off on the player cams. FlyQuest were fearless. And actually try to win the lane.
Jungle Shen's actually not bad here. I was thinking before he hovered it, especially with Nefiri diving in. Griffin loves to have that counter to the other jungler's playstyle when he decides to play Shen. Not quite as clear as the if Vi
was that Griffin sliding
Griffin
that away? Nicely done.
Yeah, that is really nice. Oh, Rahel in trouble.
Yeah, Rahel has to try to flash, but it won't matter. That's first blood.
Oh, here comes
Masu and
Griffin.
Cryogen in the two.
This is the youngest team, FlyQuest, versus the oldest team on Sentinels. And Rahel taking some rough trades. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the young guns are coming out swinging. Rahel just wastes the barrier yet again, and Masu and Cryogen.
When you see, and you look to your right, you see Masu, Quad, Griffin, Gakkos. Bro, just know it's a free win, bro.
I love how he's like, bro, you're nervous, but I'm on your team.
Duo in lane. They can't really answer a whole lot. Rahel's at about half of Masu's farm as Hambach shows up here in the mid lane. Quad getting protected by the Stand United. Beautiful petrifying engage with a miasma right on top of it. Hambach bites off more than he can do, tries to flash away, but it's Griffin with the shadow dash flash.
That is the Stand United shield. That is a lot of extra damage that you have to deal to kill off this Cassio early on in the game, and it's just not going to happen. That was a pretty low HP ult, so that's 300 about from the ultimate plus the Guardian.
Raz says he is once again flip-flopping. In other news, the sky is blue and the grass is green. He's hard to keep this guy on one track the whole time.
Yeah, last week he did it too.
Impact, point-blank range ulti here to just clear out the wave as much as anything.
Yeah, trying to catch Gakkos at the edge of turret range while he was poking, couldn't quite get it since that moment, and Sentinels seems like they haven't really been able to recover as Griffin arrives.
Yeah, Griffin's made his way down into the bottom lane here, finds the Shadow Dash through the Encore to lock up Rahel. Remember, there's no flash on the Ashe cause of the earlier calling. It's a 4-0 game. There's nothing left of that AD carry in the bottom lane. 0-3 at 0, 1,500 gold deficit. Let's check out what's going on in the top side.
This is what they got to do.
Are trying to make the play here onto Gakkos. Griffin's still trying to finish up the Dragon, but does he want to use the Stand United to try to rescue his top laner? Gakkos going for the flash, looking for the outplay here. Flash over the wall from Impact, so he doesn't trade.
Who's going to be more useless, the poor Jace or the poor Ashe? Ashe at least has some utility.
Okay, we got a couple of different fights breaking out as Gakkos going to be your target down here in the bottom lane. Impact being targeted over in mid. Gakkos dies first, but Impact will join him. Top laner for top laner. The punching bags on each team take a beating.
Yeah, the thing is, if Impact's poor, that's okay. If Gakkos is poor, that's a lot less okay. So back here and pull these games back to parity. So we'll see if they can do it here in a game that will be so...
He's about to collect even more gold by finishing off this mid-turret.
Yeah, you can see the Navori Flicker Blades completed there for Masu, so has that second item ready to go here on the Lucian. DPS potential going to be crazy.
We'll get a Mikhail's at some point in the game, and they are just going to continue attacking side lanes. Lucian's at the Dragon, not going there. Time to look elsewhere and see if you can find a play here onto Quad. They will get a tower.
Pretty aggressive by Quad trying to defend this 1v3.
Yeah, he does step up. The turret is eventually going to fall. Petrifying Gaze. Quad's forced to flash back
Ghost
away.
and full send it. You know, so... maybe it was kind of just like a difference in opinion of how to play that.
Yeah. All right. Redemption Cassio. That's how you know we're in dark times. Quad goes for the Petrifying Gaze. Doesn't really get a whole lot out of it. Defensive Shockwave for the Crozy Campfire, keeping Quad plenty of HP. Griffin versus Hambach off on the side. Darkwing still down below half. Herald summoned up right in range of the turret. No way to stop the charge on that one. Gets the slam, but the turret's still standing for now. Fire.
Sentinels holding that turret for now. Quad, no flash or ghost, so couldn't go as aggressive as I'm sure he'd like.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, back to the battle as they do bring in the Shen. Stand United going to be used there to interrupt Impact's escape.
Quite yet, and I like where Sentinels is on the map still. They're constantly looking to make plays.
Yeah, you could see the intention right there. Hambach goes over the wall. Gakkos, though, sidestepping the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, staying alive for now. To the skies won't matter. To the ground with the Jace. 50 seconds until the dragon spawns, but it's only 35 until Gakkos reappears on the rift, and he will have his teleport to join up in the fight if that's what they want to go for. But I love Sentinels always looking for these plays.
Yeah, Sentinels are doing a great job with this, looking for these plays. Masu getting his base canceled actually matters because he wants to go back and spend here. And as Tempo will be hurt a bit, I also like the fact that Gakkos just accepts the death. Don't waste your flash. Yeah. This next fight is the one that matters. And but
they must stop this stack. You do not want to give FlyQuest Ocean Soul. Buhi off to the side. Keep your eyes on the Seraphine. Where's the Encore going to be? Call of the Pack already used by Hambach. Big defensive tool no longer available. Here for this Assassin Jungler. Accelerated Shock Blast from Gakkos trying to find poke. Masu will always be the target for Sentinels. Buhi over the wall, tries to go for the flash. Encore with the Breath of Life is immediately ready to respond. FlyQuest sees what Sentinels have, and they turn it right back around. Impact over the front line, Petrifying Gaze to slow everybody on Sentinels down. The calling, finding maximum value. Quad gets the kill into who he is. Impact has to run. Impact tries to charge back in now, but a massive heal coming in onto Masu here with the Stand United plus the barrier together. Hambach goes in, Gakkos goes down. Masu still firing. Finds yet another one onto Rahel. Impact and Darkwing scrambling to get away, but they're running back towards the FlyQuest side of the map. Quad continuing to keep them here. Decimating Smash will not find anything else. FlyQuest head back over to the Ocean Drake pit. They will get 3 kills in exchange for only the 1 death on Gakkos, and they will claim the Ocean Soul.
Love watching these kids.
Now. Oh, help me.
Seraphine flash.
Look Seraphine, look Seraphine.
They want to combo. No ult, Ori. No ult, Ori.
You can go.
No.
Hard.
Keep going. Can you blue it?
Yeah.
If you have.
I have ulti still. I'm hitting Dragon. I have ulti.
We can play for fight. We can Drake after.
Look, please. Yeah, I'm looking. I have W too. Look, no interfering. I have W. Keep going.
Chase on ulti. I chase it. Maybe 7 Q, yeah?
I'll do Dragon. You guys chase.
7 Q. 7 only Q, I think.
I think it's hard, Quad. I think it's hard to walk in.
Yeah, it's hard to check into Ori.
Yeah,
You just get free Dragon, no?
Good,
Okay.
Nice, good job. What some they use?
really good comms there, but we are back to another fight.
Back to live immediately. Hambach trying to dive in after Mazu, being protected by the Cozy Campfire. Flash over the wall from Hambach. He can't complete the mission. Now Impact the target for the rest of FlyQuest. They stay grouped up as 5. Yes, Masu took a chunk of damage, but Sentinels just already regenerating back to about 75%. Impact gonna face check the brush here. Cozy Campfire again back on Masu, making sure the Lucian stays healthy. Baron down to about half HP. Sentinels moving up. Hambach still over the wall, ready to try to steal if FlyQuest want to full commit to this. Masu here with the calling, putting a lot of damage into Darkwing, but the Orianna gets behind his Scion. Impact body blocking the rest of the ult damage there. Griffin looking, but still on top of the Baron for now. Impact in the middle of everybody, stuck on top of Miasma. He cannot get away, and that means FlyQuest now have the enemy tank down. Nice damage arrives from Darkwings there with a shockwave, but it is not enough. An Impact dead body is now out of the picture. Hambach still looking for maybe the miracle steal. Blastcone takes his teammates over the wall. Hambach petrified. Hambach died. FlyQuest, they're gonna find 2 more kills and take the Baron.
FlyQuest is just too fed and too clean in these team fights. With the amount of shielding, healing, and cleanse break they put on Masu, plus the Ocean Soul, it just seems insurmountable for Sentinels.
I mean, Masu got the lead, and he's been playing so well with it. Both games, this guy is just on fire in this series. They do not flip the Baron. They force their hand. They make them come over, even with a great shockwave from Darkwings. They go over the wall. They take out Hambach. They guarantee it.
Darkwing's doing his best to try and push Quad back a bit, but Quad just, as Cassio, buying time.
Yeah, Quad's got friends, and that calling, man. Game number 2 is the Masu story. This Lucian, absolutely out of control, 8-0-2, total gold. He's 4,000 point of origin prediction.
You know what's really funny?
Yeah, we have an arrow there onto Griffin, who tries to get away, commits the flash 2, tagged by the very end of the Encore. Griffin should be dead here, but the problem is, Sentinels is sending a lot for Jungle Shen. They do end up getting him, but they're going to lose their inhibitor turret plus inhibitor up there in the top lane as the trade. So, okay, you got a kill.
I mean, you can't defend it anyway, so
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's like, if you can't do anything about top lane, well, you can do something here. They got a kill, and they did get that tower, so they get some objective bounties. They get a little
Recognize that Gakkos was in the enemy jungle. They want to try to find some sort of an angle to punish, but Cryogen with a nice sidestep there. Sentinels still all grouped up. FlyQuest, they don't really care right now. Griffin's separated from the rest of the team, but he's Shen. He's fine with that.
Look at bot lane. No one's going to answer Gakko. So he's saying, you guys can start it. I'll
Take
just
your
go
time.
push.
Yeah, FlyQuest is actually trying to force Sentinels to start it. I really love this play now that Sion has already burned TP and all. So
Yep.
Sentinels going to have to start it, then Gakkos will come down.
Masu getting whatever little chip damage that he
He's not
can.
coming down.
Chunking Impact away, the culling flying out. Impact losing most of his HP, but does get healed now by his support. FlyQuest still looking for the fight as Gakkos is ready to commit here with a TP over the wall.
wow.
There's the pick. Dark Wings dies first in the fight, and that means lights out for Sentinels. Hambach charges in onto Quad, gets met with a face full of poison. Rahel gunned down at the end of the game, gunned down at the start of the game. The bullets have found Rahel. FlyQuest, it's 5-0. Elder Dragon not required. They're gonna march it straight to the Nexus.
Yeah, they've got this one wrapped up, and on that, Quad went for a 1v4 flank on the Casio. The team pulls the pincer, wins the game.
FlyQuest told the whole story through bottom lane. It was a 2v2 bot diff, and it's FlyQuest match point.
What a great game overall. I mean, Quad 2-0-10.
What Misfortune loves to be played with. You probably saw the stats pop up when Rahel locked it in, though. 4 plays so far here in Spring Split, 4 losses in Spring Split, so could potentially struggle a bit, but we'll have to see as the final pick of the draft for FlyQuest.
But Impact is up 400 gold for now, nearly 500, though, of course, some of this will be recouped by Gakkos as he arrives back.
Okay, Dragon finally going to be secured by Hambach there as Rahel steps up just to make sure of it. So a nice early game here for Sentinels. Chase presses are. Then things will get a little bit different. So that's what we've got to remember heading towards the bigger fights later on in the game as FlyQuest are crashing a large wave into the tier 1 turret here bottom side. Masu just going to walk out of the bullet time. Has to use the ulti together with a Kanmei's step to escape that tempered fate. Keep his flash intact because Hambach was on the flank.
Hambach is thinking of continuing this play and at least pushing Masu back to base after clearing the wards. So it's going to be a nice amount.
FlyQuest doesn't push into their jungle here and control more than they already do. It is FlyQuest possession over the river as the second Drake of the game has spawned. Dominus from Impact committed as Gakkos tries to clear enough space without using the all-out in return. Looks like he should be able to get back to the safety of the turret just like that. So if we do get these top laners teleporting down here for the Dragon fight, Masu could be in a little bit of danger before that even happens. Hambach still in the Drake, Rahel under pressure as Griffin makes his way into the fight now in Dragon form. Rahel still trying to escape with the first blood. Goes back over to Quad. Sentinels, right when they needed to clutch up, they fall down. FlyQuest punish as they try to get Masu yet again.
Yeah, they try to go for Masu, but every time he just pops ult, hits the untouchable shadow, dashes away there, and is able to
combo to find a pick somewhere, stabilize things a little bit.
I mean, their vision on the bot side is great. Quad is fighting here. There could be an angle for a dive now. He has no ult.
Yeah, Hambach immediately just jumps in for the Cataclysm. Quad, nice use of the Proto Belt to stay away from the Tempered Fate, but they just send more men. Sentinels finally get themselves a kill.
Just as you talk about it, who he gets on the board. Perfect Bard ultimate to turn the turret off. Here's Masu, though.
Yeah, Masu just immediately decides to jump in there with a Kanmei step into the Arc of Ruin. One more hit is what he needs. Masu Wild Growth! And the final auto attack finds its mark. So talking about this champion liking to power farm when she's ahead. Griffin is farmed up plus 30 over Hambach, but now the engage coming in from the Jarvan forces the defensive Dragon's descent back of the wall, who he's ready to try to follow. Griffin still looking for his escape, flashes over the wall into the Krug Pit. Impact on the flank, Hambach ready to flash follow here with the EQ. Quad still standing by, wants to fire back, but Griffin is in some serious danger, still trying to get himself away for now. Escape the cooldowns won't happen. Ruthless Predator seals the deal for the shutdown for Sentinels.
Sentinels, just like last time.
It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. As soon as Sentinels makes a play on the bottom side of the map, Masu and Cryogen step up, crack their knuckles, and say, "Where's Rahel?"
Yeah, and Rahel is saying, "Where's my team?" Because he is getting chain dove here. He's put so far down. This item differential is going to get ridiculous once Masu bases. There's his second.
Griffin is just top lane trying to collect gold.
Yeah, the trade is, okay, we've got the Herald. We're going to take down the tier 1 turret guaranteed. Only Impact is up here. Good chance of just being able to slam this straight into the tier 2, farm even more plate money. while they take the Drake. Nice Tempered Fate, though. That's why I didn't say certainly. I said good chance. I remembered the Bard. The final betrayal there after helping Masu all this time, denies him the red buff. The most important objective for AD carries.
Right? Like you don't actually get to take the wave in a normal way. They're looking for Dark Wings.
Yeah, Dark Wings gets caught out by Gakko's going all out here as Griffin's waiting over the wall in case Dark Wings tries to escape. FlyQuest is ready. Dark Wings responds with the gravity field, but it won't matter. It just buys enough time for Masu to take the kill credit. 21 minutes on the clock. FlyQuest on the Baron pit. Impact on the other side of the map. Does have the teleport ready to join the rest of the team if Sentinels wants to try to stop it. Hombok's the only one here for now. Cryogen zoning him away. The Baron down to 6,000 HP. Impact still finishing off the tier 2 down here in the bottom lane. Tempered Fate onto the Baron, buying a little bit more time. Impact still bottom. Teleport going to be channeled now as FlyQuest still on the objective, burning this one down. Should have no problem securing it. Masu pops the Arc of Ruin yet again. FlyQuest going on the chase. Baron's already claimed, looking for a little bit more. Gakkos wants to cut off the escape route back towards the Sentinels base. Immediately has it with a Pathfinder. Follow-up knockup is there as who he is low, but now they're turning it back around. Masu's down to 100 HP, but he does stay alive. Fires another Arc of Judgment back into the fight as Hombok falls. Griffin getting away for now. Impact wants to kill him. Meanwhile, Quad picks up for hell on the right side of the fight. Griffin finally dropped. Who he's still barely hanging on. Impact trying to raid boss this, but FlyQuest already cleared the encounters they needed to. Impact hit by the third in Topo strike yet again. Gakko's still not that afraid, but now
they want to play with Victor here.
The Aurora Pincer attack could be what FlyQuest is looking for. The Dragon down to about half HP. Quad still on the approach, trying to go the long, long way around. Tempered Fate flies out, but Griffin flies in, steals away the Drake. Now Impact going to be focused on the front side of the fight, while Quad immediately finds the backline. Impact over the killing spree, takes down Griffin. FlyQuest don't have the damage to kill anybody, but everyone on Sentinels is low.
Portal or dash into safety.
Meanwhile, back live, it's Quad under pressure. Hombok going for the Cataclysm. He's got the firepower from Dark Wings right behind him, and that Sentinels finding themselves a pick.
Nicely done there by Sentinels, just constantly staying active. Despite the difficult situations in this game, they're always looking for picks, whether they're behind or not. They will keep fighting. And Darkwing still making
about now who he might fire a Tempered Fate up to the Baron pit if they think they can do anything with it, but nobody else is anywhere nearby, so wouldn't really do anything but buy you an extra second. So Soul Point for Sentinels, but Baron for FlyQuest. We'll see how much value they can get. They can get a good opportunity, but for now, Sentinels just going to push FlyQuest back.
Look at all these TP wards that are available here too. You know, Renekton is not with them. TP ward, TP ward, TP ward all around.
Okay, teleport coming in now. Gakko's the only one getting caught, though. There's your Tempered Fate. Might lead to something more. Masu gonna be the target. Gets himself back over the wall. Hombok ready to follow. Gakko's knocked down first. Hombok tries to get away, but a nice bullet time buys a little bit of time. Cryogen with a kill onto Hombok as Quad has to escape off to the left. Sentinels have made a 1-for-1 trade so far, but they want to get the advantage. Darkwings cuts him down, gets the kill back into Quad as Impact zones everybody else away on the FlyQuest side. Who he's not done. Goes on a magical journey straight to hell. Not exactly where you wanted that one to go. Gary that can take over the team fight, who now has Lord Dominic's regards, also fully complete. Oh boy, Huhi. Yeah, that's Infinity Edge plus Fiend Hunter bolts for Impact, so that'll help him survive it a little bit better. But now, FlyQuest again pushing up. Impact gonna be your target. Knocked into the fear by Griffin. Masu's already dominating. It's been so close for so long, and now FlyQuest have found their moment, and they're forcing themselves all the way forward into the enemy base. Sentinels scrambling to try to defend as Griffin goes too far forward, might just get punished here. Another turret shot finds him, but not quite enough to kill. Laser fires through. Gakkos could potentially get caught here in the gravity field. Buffers through it there with the Pathmaker. Cryogen right behind his top laner, making sure that he stays alive. Quad fires back with a twofold hex to create some space. FlyQuest now up 7,000 gold as the Dragon is spawned and the Soul is denied to Sentinels.
And FlyQuest continues to play on the edge. The one pick for Huhi is a nice start, and then they full send a top lane. Well, Masu's been playing from the Ezreal game to the 10-0 Lucian game to now the 7-0 Yunara game. It's been like an hour of in-game time since he died.
Darkwings just got popped. Masu jumps in again with the Fiend Hunter bolts, just mag dump onto the enemy mid laner, and right when it looks like Darkwings might try to escape, Quad's there to cut him off, so they take out the strongest player on the enemy team. FlyQuest now going after the Baron yet again.
I mean, this is back-to-back games where Masu has over a 5,000 individual gold lead. That is
second strongest player.
Crazy.
Just a bot gap.
It's just a crazy gap here from Masu is playing so well. Cryogen is playing incredibly well around him. The team is enabling him, but Masu, this is This is like a career series from him. He is looking amazing.
We've definitely heard from other teams that FlyQuest sometimes is just trying to play around Mosu. They're one of the teams that plays more around bot lane than anyone else, and we're kind of seeing all of the practice they've been putting into that come to fruition in this series, as now with the Baron buff and a 4v5 for another 10 seconds, let's see how much they can get.
This whole game for Sentinels has been about their 2 solo laners, and now with one of those solo laners still dead, FlyQuest are taking the opportunity to look for even more. Darkwings respawns, so Fly rotate things back over to tier 3 turret in mid lane where Quad had the wave pushed. They'll take that objective out. The inhibitor falls right after. That's 2 inhibs down now with the timers nearly perfectly synced up.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you can afford is what you buy at this point, and I think Seeker is actually a really good buy for an AD carry in a final fight situation.
All right, let's see if Griffin suffers any sort of real damage down here in the
down
bottom lane, because the rest of FlyQuest says, okay, you want Griffin, you can have him. We're going to take the Nexus. First turret's already down, second turret's going. Quad by in a little bit of time. FlyQuest are just running straight for the enemy Nexus. Sentinels can't stop them. GG, well played, FlyQuest. Sweep Sentinels out of the playoffs.